And it's rare you see a player just randomly pushing a 50-50 to see if they can win a duel.
Now we are going to be starting with Haven. We don't know whose pick it is just yet, but it will be just an interesting one to see who could have gone into it. It's a standard map, right? It's one that everyone knows inside and out. It's a go-to map for most teams, I feel like. And it's BBL that made the choice when it comes to Haven. So maybe there's something they're ready for to throw against G2. Again, we always got to say this. It is limited. There is only 4 maps to choose from within Valorant at the moment. I cannot wait till we get some more for sure. And we can widen it up. And also like to see when it comes to actually getting 5, 6 maps when we get the best of 5 scenarios.
So G2 have played against BBL before. Obviously, they had their head-to-head, and on Haven, it went 13-9 in G2's favor.
Okay.
This is a map that obviously they'll be intimately familiar with them on, and perhaps BBL have done the research. What they will have noticed during that research is that this is a map in which G2 are now on a 5-win streak. They've beaten Party Parrots, G-Gang Dream Chasers, BBL themselves, and Bonk. Pretty good teams in there. And they're consistently having close losses, except for the Prodigy one, which we'll ignore in the Vitality Grand Finals, which was obviously an important game. But anyways, with the exception of that, ever since they've swapped to this this setup of having their Omen instead of their Breach consistently, they haven't lost a map.
That's not something you want to be hearing if you're the other team, ever. But this is why G2 are the dominant force right now. This is why G2 are the team to fear when it comes to it. And I think what they need to do, especially in any tournament like this, is come out with a statement, right? Come out with a huge win when you come up against teams like this. But I can't stress enough, a team like BBL coming through the qualifiers, you're looking at all these qualifiers, it's like 100+ teams. We see teams like Need More DM didn't make it, Bonk didn't make it, No Penky didn't make it. That's how tough all of this is. It is not easy from start to finish here for any of these teams. So having to be a qualifier team and getting here in the first place, they deserve a lot of respect and a lot of props.
Yeah, this isn't one of those tournaments where you say, oh, they qualified, so they'll probably get knocked out, but maybe they make it far. I don't think this is even an easy match for G2, to be honest. What is surprising me is Aslan's move over to the Omen. So the last time they played here, Lego was the one taking Omen. Aslan was the top fragger, no, close to, excuse me, 1 frag away, playing on a Raze. Did quite well, and it's very unusual as well to see Raze played on Haven. So perhaps now they're just normalizing their agent picks a bit more. I think probably over time, this team is starting to treat the game much more seriously and look at the compositions they've got versus what their opposition does. I love that smoke early. Early aggression up through A long from G2 as they get some control with the David P just about to take a fight heads on. I think he's just passed straight past Cypher. Oh, that's a big problem as Aslan opens up B. Cypher has made it completely unbeknownst to... Oh, I think he's just been spotted. I think David P just saw him.
It's going to come down to whether they did just quite see each other. This is good though so far. The G2 boys are being slapped around. Piff comes through, unable to get the job done. Kero's fallen, but David P, he has to be oh so careful now. They started to push forwards.
So that was a little bit odd because we had the so David P walks straight past Cypher. He gets himself into a good position then to come up and get the flank out. And I think he's kind of comment like, oh, I've got a kill. I've got a free kill. Just don't die. Just we got this. And then everyone's dead. It's like I said, just die. Just don't die. Come on. What's going on? But it was a really good start for BBL. They had that just straight mid-aggression up through B, a Cypher that had a flank but was cut short. But even without that, Russ double opening on the Sage, that was absolutely huge. Now manages to get himself out of Phantom. And I don't think this is the kind of game where BBL can take any risks. They've got to be coming through and just playing this hard gameplay, buying up the majority of the time. CNET, who's their operator player, obviously keeping over money and just playing with a Ghost. But I don't expect any more than just one eco play. Their operator can do it, but outside of that, even up against pistols, you're going to need those rifles to deal with them for the most part. I also like that CNET is leading the charge. With a Jet, he can bail out almost immediately. And obviously a Ghost in hand. You can do whatever you like.
He can be the point man. No risk of losing a weapon to him. Get some extra information if he does go down, but aim are given. He could be walking away with some kills at the same time. Kero checking all the corners and pushing his way up through short, but the site's going to be secured completely. G2, they didn't want to put anyone towards A. They will pay the price for it, but it's a nice sneak in from BBL, and now they've just got to defend and pick up whatever kills they can get done.
There's been huge changes. quite surprised at BBL. Like, I don't know what they were playing with previously, but in terms of comfort zone, I think we're just seeing the versatility of these players. And that, as far as I remember, CNED was the Cypher. Now Kiro's on that role. As I said before, we'd seen Lego play the Omen and Aslan on Raze, but now Aslan's taking the Omen. It's pretty interesting.
I really love this. You saw that, right? Omen, pop smoke down. What do? They go, okay, don't risk it. Don't lose any guns. We're not going to push it. We'll actually just wait and X out of the site the other way around. Now, David P does manage to get one at least. Artist has found Lego at the same time, so some weapons will be secured for this.
It's free
but
real
overall,
estate.
an easy enough round for BBL here.
Yeah, you got to be happy to at least carry a rifle or two forward in a round like that. Really dealing damage is quite difficult. Artis starting on the operator. Makes a big change from Mixwell. Obviously has an idea of what he wants to do towards A-Long. I wonder what they are going to do, because Mixwell is here as well, right? And he has the exit strategy potentially with that dash. So he started to get aggressive, move up forward, then bails back, gets spotted in towards the spawn side. But this means now that potentially Artis is going to be left completely unchecked.
Yeah, it might be a bait, right? Start spamming with that Phantom, but either way, as they start to get into B, Lego's able to get one, but his teammate fell around him at the same time. They're going to be blocked off by the Sage Wall, struggling to push in just yet. And Artis, he does pick one up. Kiro's the one that falls. They're going to try and recon and find some information in using the drone. Now, it does get the information of where one player's firing off towards. But already Patatek started to move away, so he's not going to be affected by anything just yet. And BBL just being picked apart one at a time here, right? This is what ended up happening. They got slowed down by everything. They started to move around positions, but then they all got split up at the same time.
Last time BBL managed to find 5 rounds on the attacking side, but of those 2, well, it went exactly like this, 2-0. So in terms of their buy rounds, they're not incredibly solid.
Okay.
And never stringing them together either, just finding one and then falling down right afterwards. So there's definitely a little bit of concern there if it does start to repeat the same way, but we're in very early days. Pith has spotted a player close right. He knows exactly what's going on, ready to take that duel, and CNED didn't quite have the operator in hand. A nice little double for him on site, an operator saved forward, and with that, a 2-1. Are G2 now double open? I believe Artis still had his. He's got a Phantom in hand now, so maybe he swapped.
Okay, they decided to pass it over, so it's obviously just for that round and what they want to do. I was talking about it before the action started happening towards B. I'm guessing what they were doing, you saw Mixel spam with a Phantom, they try and think someone's a Phantom there, and they just hug Artist, then back it up, and then he sits in position and waits for someone to poke across. Now, Mitch, you mentioned about G2 and their win rate at the moment, at least on this map. Overall, when was the last time they dropped a map?
Put me on the spot there. Luckily, I've got my stats ready. So the last time was Prodigy, and in that Vitality Grand Final I was talking about, they lost 16-7. Yeah, it was quite a while ago. It was over a month ago at this stage. No, actually, 1 day short of a month. But still, quite a while in Valorant times. I don't know. But that was with the old composition as well, where they had the Brimstone. David P opening it. Wall goes up. The spams are in play. He goes over to try and peek and get out. But unfortunately, without the exit strategy that Mixwell does on the Jet, he had to just run and ran right into the bullets.
Yeah, got himself the first kill. Got a little bit too hungry for more. Tries to use the wall for his advantage, but that wasn't going to work out. Now they're at a one-man disadvantage. Sage is already gone. Problematic for these guys, but the weaponry is certainly in the hands of G2. Can they make the most of it? We'll be finding out real soon. As Lego starts to work his way towards C. Wants to see if anyone's pushing up anywhere just yet. Being ever so cautious, and rightly so. They hadn't had any presence towards C just yet. Look like they could be doing a split, so yeah, they're going to try and push on to A, and already everyone's moved away. The fake looks like it's being sold here. Mixwell starts to have an idea that this could be going on.
That's a long rotate, though.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Artis is waiting for him before he starts to make a move, and they've realized now with the sound of the bomb being planted. So nice. Great job done. That's the heal pop. Up wall goes in a little bit late, I think. So it might have broken as Mixwell was on top of it. It did. So he's straight on through, looking for the fight with 2 players there. He tried to shut down the bomb, but unfortunately that spike is still going to be planted. Good damage by Russ. Not able to follow on another, but CNED's there to save the day and close it out 3-1.
Yeah, nice attempt there on a quick retake from G2, but BBL held on strong. They knew exactly what was working out there. Lego sold that fake perfectly. 3-1 and G2 on the back foot. They will have some weapons into this round. It's not the most ideal, though.
I am just taken aback by the fact that, you know, generally when it comes to the attacking side, you're looking at, what is it, when they start there, a 90% win rate. That's across 5 games for G2 in rounds. They win 90% of the rounds that they play on the attacking side. That's pretty nuts. And so when you look at the defensive side, so long as they can do as they did before and end up in a somewhat comfortable spot in buy rounds, BBL will fall behind significantly when we swap over. I think really I want to see like a 9-3 for BBL before I can believe in them taking this map. And that's certainly a tough one.
Piff just spamming through. You'll find the drone at least. Not able to tag the rest of them up. He doesn't actually have the information on how many are there just yet. Gets rid of the recon dart straight away, and he now sees them. Can't get anything done though. CNED ready and waiting for him. Patatek's able to find Kiro, who's trying to push around, but the C site is secured. Spike's gonna be planted. Aslan in a good spot. Mixer comes jumping through though, fast and furious, looking for some more. He expects them to be trying to go aggressive at mid.
David P on the rotate over, secures their back, knows that they're completely safe at this point, and as they start to look towards the site. Oh, Aslan, last bullet in the mag onto Mixwell, and he gets another through the smoke, a double kill. And with that, BBL take a 4th.
Aslan is taking chances, and they're ones that are paying off in a big way. Beast mode from him. He doesn't even need to see forward.
My thanks.
Confident start coming out. The first one was like insane. Look at this. Gets it on the last bullet. Goes in for the reload as he pulls away, and then just goes, why not? Let's do it again. What's the worst that can happen? They can't see me.
Same spot and everything.
Smells their panic.
That one just hurts to watch. BBL 4-1 up. A hell of a start for them now, just up against the pistols. And this is what should be a fairly one-sided round. A lot of ults available. G2 if they want to use them. They could be walking in with a decent start. I think Mixwell's already popped his. So he's got his knives ready. Look at that karate pose coming down middle. He's ready to go. Knives at his side, ready to throw them into someone's head. And there it is. Lego's the first one to disappear. Now he's managed to upgrade. I love this. Look, he's falling back, and he's going to probably give that Phantom to one of his teammates because he's got his knives.
Smart decision if he does. Gives them more of an opportunity in a round like this for them to bounce back. Oh, Patatek, if he could have hit the headshot there, might have been able to get another one. But Kiro proved too strong. They're trying to gain some control back here. The Sage Wall goes up, though. Revive comes in. Oh, no, they got to be careful. Sovrok going through. Some damage being taken. They're being pushed from all directions. Now the pressure's on. BBL don't know what to do.
CNED's missing his shots. That's causing some trouble. 2 players are very low on HP, but Aslan manages to open up C. The Sheriff almost took him. It almost did, but unfortunately, Aslan continues to frag. As he eventually falls, they realize no one else is here. Now what to do from this point? Well, it's a recon dart out towards the site, about to spot one. They now know this player's towards long. The operator was hurt as well, which they're going to presume is on the jet. And now they know where the last 2 players are, with the spike being planted. A 2 versus 3. David P in on the revive to Patatek. They can now come in through the double doors, in through the garage, and look to get this round under their belt.
And they all seem to be attacking from the same way on G2, so they're just going to push through full force. Patatek finds himself the first. Oh, a huge miss. CNED goes in for the ult, but he lands the heady. Looking for more. Throws out all the darts. This isn't working out, and Artist finishes him off. A huge round from G2. Chaotic from start to finish. They applied the pressure onto BBL, and they could not handle it.
That one missed flick down below, if he gets that or if he waits a second on the updraft, that could have been his, but unfortunately CNED not able to get it on the board, so G2 do rock in with their second. And we see, look, it took a lot of ultimates, that's for sure. It cost their ult economy a lot, but that was just pistols outside of it. Missed shot. If he doesn't miss that, maybe it would have been his, who knows? We'll never find out the answer to that question. could he have won the clutch in the 1v1? As now we come into round number 7. And we're obviously going to see the full investment from G2. And with the rounds 1 up, BBL can do much the same. Their ultimates are fairly light. They can at least get some info with the Omen. Or if they find an opening, pick the Cypher, but that ain't happening today. David P on the wall, and he's immediately bailing out. So not making the mistake he did last time.
Yeah, he was avoiding standing on it and being found. Could grab the ult orb, he's got time for it as well, and certainly beneficial up on the Sage. BBL still, though, trying to work their way towards the Sage site. Kiro checking the corners. Shock Dart goes out. They're well aware that there's more than a couple of players now here. Unable to connect with anyone just yet. And Artis, he overextends, he does some damage, but he can't find the kill. He gets healed up as well there for Kiro. So Kiro's looking real pretty. Mixwell missing a shot that he really needs to hit. And the second one goes down as well. Has to remove the tracking dart. He's trying to get himself into a good position. Finally landing the shots. Patatek does as well. But Lego, he's not done. Now it's all on Piff. 1v1. He's up at full shield, full health. Phantom in hand.
Oh, here we go. Split screen, and it's Pit that splits the head straight off his opponent, winning out the round with a defuse and putting G2 on 3. He's even going to go save an operator by the looks of it.
Plenty of time for him either way.
Oh, he was just going on a walk, stretching his legs.
Anyway, Mixwell died in sight and he had the operator, so...
Cage trigger.
Maybe that was just miscommunication on where it was.
Either way, 2 rounds in a row now for G2. They're coming down, though, right to the wire, right? That 1v1 just then, the bust onto the A site. There was 3 players on A, and they still couldn't hold it for G2. Oh, we found our other bear.
There's a bear on every map. For those of you that don't know, you just have to go look really hard to find it. And we've got a bear in the studio every day that you guys can look not as hard to find. You don't have to know clip. There's not that much space for us to hide it, really, unfortunately.
We'll start putting it in obscure locations.
We can put it in like the city of Hamburg somewhere.
Send someone to go find it.
Yeah. It's like a really difficult Easter egg hunt.
Pistols only, the Sheriffs spammed out like crazy. They're quickly going to push up, though. They've gone through to see window. Mixwell holding strong.
Mixwell's being darted. It's pretty dangerous from that position. But luckily, Patatek was there to just keep them back, right? No one could just swing on him.
Oh, this position. He's spraying through that smoke. Starts wrecking the first 2, but can't get the last. His weapon won't be picked up, though. That's at least the benefit now. As the rest of his teammates start to push round. Spike on the floor. It's only the Omen left. Now Aslan's been able to pull off some crazy shots. Does get one, but he's very low on health. And that's not going to work out for him. Piff manages to catch him. 4 for 4. And G2 starting to find their groove, starting to get back into it now. It was certainly looking scary from the aggression that BBL was able to show to at the beginning there.
That's such a nice shock dart. A little bit of damage pushes them forward. Sad he couldn't get the third, but hey, a little bit of damage from BBL. They took away a couple of weapons. It's 4 to 4. They get their investment through. We'll see exactly what they can do. Definitely at a disadvantage in terms of the ult economy. And we mentioned before that G2 solid as can be on the attacking side. 90% of the 5 games that they've played where they started on the attacking side, they won 90% of the rounds. Spotted one immediately out of there. Again, the benefit of having that jet in play, just being able to bail immediately.
He tagged him with the Sage, quickly put the heal on, but that's expended the heal already. So now when they push in, they're not going to directly have it available.
It's not checked. It's not checked the corner. Absolutely for free. Patatek's able to pick up one. The ult as well on Artis. In with another frag. Sage makes it through the window.
Revealing area.
But at what cost? They've already lost 2 of their players, one of which had the ult online. The other ult in play is for Kiro, and it's not really that important. He has to find a kill for it to work. There we go, 2! As you completely open C. Now that ult can go through to find the Sage, the final piece of the puzzle on the defense. But they're not even going to waste it.
Yeah, Kiro got away with murder. No need for him to use that ult. Cena getting the last kill, and that was a huge round for BBL. It wasn't looking like it might have gone so well for them at the beginning there. They've grabbed the 5 rounds that you said they got last time on their attacking side, Mitch. How much further can they push this?
Hopefully a little bit more. Because it wasn't enough last time when they played each other. As I said, G2 were going to be solid as hell when we swap. So this round, it means a lot to them. It's still a full investment from G2. They've got everything to work with. Mixwell, very passive angle compared to what he usually plays at. But they're making up for it. A Cypher push straight down C long. The cam that spots out nobody's here. He's free to swing, and with that they know it's not C. They can start moving players towards the B and A side stacks.
Take flight.
As David P is currently alone on A, that could be a big problem for them. They need to react to the information they've got. With Pith already having that intel, I would have imagined they'd at least have 2A, 2B at this point, if not more towards the A side.
David P getting aggressive for the first time at short, though. Oh, it's a timing. He puts the wall up, but he can still be seen from that angle, and that's exactly what happens. CNED makes it super easy for himself. They're just going to bundle into the A site once again. They've had a lot of success here. G2 just making the wrong reads on how this is going.
I mean, I understand having your 2 players still towards the B side, but leaving David P alone A, first of all, seems crazy. When you know C long is clear, it's a 50-50 chance, and Pith is ready to instant flank B, so the main threat is A, because if you lose your player there, well, then they just walk on and take it for free. It's a very difficult site to retake as well, because it's just 2 choke point angles, one of which you have to jump out of if you go up towards heaven. So you're not getting out of there easy. And then to send David P aggressive, it just furthers the risk for what seems like very little reward. Okay, yeah, if he sees it's clear, it's great, but if he dies, you lose the round more than likely. Especially considering the state their economy was in, they didn't really have the credits to go in for that retake, so I don't get it. It was a little bit wild, a little bit loose.
Yes.
4 saved weapons, though, from that round. The G2, they need to make some sort of an attempt at bringing that back into line before it spirals out of control. BBL showing us a very strong attacking side, and it's CNED leading the charge. Aslan's been the one opening up the sites, though, in style.
Yeah, for Aslan, he was a participant in a lot of the opening duels for this team last time that they played as well. That was with a Raze, mind you, so it's a little bit different, obviously, but no, he's making it work here as well. I'm quite impressed by BBL and what they've been able to do.
Oh, being used on the Sova, trying to trace them through the walls. No success found, though. Mixwell not able to hit these shots at the moment. And we've said this about G2 many times. When Mixwell has one of these slow games of his, it starts to become very hard for the rest of the team to get going into it. That dominant G2 lays dormant while he's doing this.
You will not kill my
Revive
ally.
comes up. Puts it back into an even footing situation. Clock's being run down a little bit here.
You can see that they're just wasting time and selling fakes over on the
Yeah.
BBL side. And so far, G2 have been so strict at holding onto the C and B site, a 2-2 hold, even with the Cypher there. Cypher, who typically solos A. I mean, yes, the Sage can slow it down, she can play solo site, but on something so open and so hard to grab intel as the A-bomb site, I don't expect that to really be where she plays. And as David P gets taken out, you see that that defense is practically non-existent at this point. Kiro's so busy trying to deal with the recon, he got shot in the back. What the hell was that? Artis has just walked in and taken a 3K for free. They know where the last player is. Paranoia through, but it's not even needed as Artis just cleans house.
That was the worst angle for him to have it at, though, to be fair to him, right?
Yeah.
Literally right above him. He's like, normally it'd be like slightly diagonal, just up in the sky a bit.
Yeah.
Instead, he's like, oh, God, shot it. And by that time, you're trying to readjust your crosshair. You got no hope with that one. Artis comes around swinging. He deals the damage. He finds himself the kills. And only 1 round left before we swap halves. G2 will desperately want to get that one on the boards, but it's still a big buy coming out from both sides. BBL not really under pressure when it comes to that side of things. They've been able to keep rounds together quite neatly throughout this. G2 only went on a 3-round streak overall.
It is worth mentioning as well, like obviously Aslan I say it's so surprising to me just because of the map we're talking about in particular and the game they had versus G2 before that he's playing the Omen. He did play the Omen quite a lot, majority I think in his other games, his more recent ones.
Okay.
And he's a solid entry fragger with it. It's just I really wanted to see that raise. Not so much on Haven. I mean, that's the first time I've ever said that because it's so open, but it played such a pivotal role up against G2 before. There's the opening. Artist spans from back yet again, but now Jet up close, stabs Patatek in the back, a throwing knife, and a free kill. They can now get that spike planted with no ults left to really harass them, and Kiro gets his revenge, taking out Mixwell and leaving that 3 versus 2, the retake for G2 with a man disadvantage.
And the only 2 kills so far come from Artis's ult. Him and David P on the retake. It's all or nothing for this round.
Exactly where you are.
Cypher Camera's going to upload all the information. They know exactly where they are. He has to poke into it. Nicely done, though. CNED misses a vital shot. Artist pushing round. He's up at 4 kills. He's looking to seal the deal and get all the damage done. But now it's all on David P. The revive comes in straight away. He's got a chance of it. David P saves Artist from going down straight after it goes in. They'll get the round. And what a way to seal the deal. He revives Artist straight away. Lega goes back on the kill. But David P was able to fire back. 6-6 first half here. It was looking scary for G2 at one point, but they're not out of the woods yet. BBL are looking strong.
Yeah, they most certainly are. We didn't even see the same level of depth from the G2 defense that we have in the past. That was a much more controlled and relaxed gameplay, and it works out better, if anything, up against BBL, who, as we saw, have that slow attacking side. They like to sell fakes. They like to play a very, very relaxed game. And that's led them to a position where time and time again, when G2 were playing them previously, they would get aggressive and they'd run right into 2 or 3 players. Just like David P did on A short, excuse me. Now, in this game, they came with a more controlled more controlled approach, which has helped them out. Mixwell barely even getting involved. This game is all Artist. He is 18 kills on the board in the first half. His next teammate has 8, James. That's ridiculous.
Sometimes it's just the Artist show, but right now it's the CNED and Lego show. Aslan's there as well. They've gone super aggressive on the pistol round, and G2 don't know what hit them. Mitch, I said to you, I want to see BBL throw some aggression. Well, that's exactly what they've done on the defensive side. But they're walking into David P one by one. He has used his 1 heal, though. He's still got to slow up. 35 seconds. And his heal will come back, but he's already at 100 health. He's walked away with 2 kills. They do need to be careful. The Sage is still up, but their Sova is very low. He has to be able to get the spike at the same time. It's not impossible for David P to do. But what I would like to see him do right now is reload.
Yes, with 7 bullets and the fact that his opponents have probably grouped up into a 3-man army, it is definitely the time to reload. He's going to start making a move in towards C long to pick up that spike, conscious there could be a player around absolutely any corner. And the key thing about BBL's approach is that they've got 3 players garage, right? So quick response to C or B, depending on where the spike is attempted to be planted, and a camera on A. And that's huge. And the camera only has to worry about short because of the tripwire. He's about to run right on into 1. There's a free kill. Barely any damage. No damage taken. And he thought he had to heal. Even he was questioning how he got away with that one without taking a shot. And if he didn't and had the gun out, well, that could have went his way. Instead, the panic set in, and 6-7 we go. BBL, allez-y with the first round.
So unlucky from David P. But phenomenal aggression from start to finish there from BBL. I just got scared, like you said, right, when they went 1 by 1 just then into David P. Just imagine if he just took the kill here and then held back instead. He thought about healing, realized I made a great error, went for the 360. But it was a 360, then bullets in the back of his head. Didn't even get the full turn going down. 7-6 pistol for BBL. G2. They might have been met with aggression now, at least on the first round. Will BBL be able to keep it going? Patatek walks straight into the first one. Artist, though, continues to do the damage and pick up these kills. But against these type of weapons with limited way to attack back, David P is going to have to be the aggressor in this situation.
I mean, they are completely trapped. You can see they're looking for a way out with the camera going towards the hall, trying to open up C, get some info so they can swing. But they've spread back. They've got a little bit of control towards top mid. Now, there is a tripwire here. No doubt it'll be spotted with how slowly they're playing. Give it a second. There we go. And the movement forward immediately afterwards because the notification's out that that trip has been trapped. And moving on in. Oh, this is dangerous. Lego undetected.
Huge.
Right up behind them. He trigger discipline not there, but it's an easy double. And although he can't manage to finish them off on the final player, he leaves Pith with literally 12 health. He'll get a notification if they decide to push him, so that's at least a spike plant. But winning this one, I mean, hats off if he does.
Well, he does have the Bulldog, but he doesn't have the health straight away. Wide swing, no problem at all for Aslan. And now we're up at 8 rounds for BBL. 2 in a row wasn't really a problem for him. Did look a bit scary at one point. If that push had come through and they hadn't been found by Lego, there might have been a chance for G2. So smart here as well. Look, he hears the footsteps, doesn't go too fast, instantly finds the spike carrier. If anyone else had the spike carrier, they would have had more of a chance. The fact they knew they had to turn around, you're just basically looking at him at that point.
Yeah, that was quite unfortunate. For BBL, they're over the moon. And with an 8-6 scoreline, like, it's a good start. It's what they definitely needed. We talked about the game that they had previously, and things obviously didn't go according to plan in that one, despite a decent start to the first half. This is where things need to take a turn for the better. BBL were decent on defending rounds last time. I think the 4-4 of the bye rounds went their way. And as we enter that would bring them to 12.
Spike planted.
And I think it's definitely arguable they're playing a much better game now. You probably put it down to the lack of the raise that they've got. I know I said I wanted to see it. That's more so just based on repeating the insane performance Aslan had with it, even though this isn't the map where typically a raise thrives.
Mixwell still landing the kills, though, even though he was spotted out. This is not looking good for BBL. They can't find their way in. CNED will pick up one at least with the operator, but he needs to get a hell of a lot more done. He falls at the hands of David P, and Panatek will come in to seal the deal with the final kill. 7 now. They're going to keep it close, but G2, they made that one look a lot more convincing than any of their previous rounds. They need to keep this going. Keep your foot on the pedal and keep moving forward. Arlish is just really far up there, way above anyone else. Mixwell, the thing is, right, how many times do we see this and you look back at games from G2 and Mixwell has these games where he's just not hitting shots. But then what always happens, and this is the scary part, even if they lose or win, he just comes back and he's like, oh, okay, different Mixwell's here now.
That and the fact that G2 have the depth that they can turn around to literally any player on this roster and say, I'm not fragging, you frag. And that's no problem. That works out. Okay, Mixwell, when you're investing that much onto an operator, you want him to deliver.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's not as costly with the way this economy works than what you would be used to if you watch Counter-Strike. You'll be thinking, okay, well, operator, that's a really expensive weapon, but it's not as strenuous because it's a little more forgiving here in Valorant. Oh, this could be very dangerous if anyone had a went towards A. That's a triple stack with a shorty, I think a judge, and a sheriff. You'll be shredded if you walk into that. Luckily, they didn't. They went up C long, took it for free. And look, when you've got weapons like that, C is your bomb site. You go into B, there's 50-50 angles. There's lots of close range angles you've got to take and block off for retakes. You go towards A, same thing. That's pretty sick from David P, just shredding. But when you go to C, that's where you've got range. And up against pistols, range is what you want. There's one 50-50. Once you get onto the site, you're secure. They even used the Omen TP to get over there, negating the 50-50 angle. Everything about that was pretty perfect. It's just minimizing risk, really. Oh, when did CNED pop his ult? That's depressing.
Maybe he thought he might have had a way in because they were going very aggressive down C-long, but tried to get close enough to try and maybe get a sneak defuse in. Wasn't going to be possible. No Ninja this time around. 8-8 though, it's all even. This is where G2 are going to look to really step it up a notch.
See, so one thing I don't like about the Jet ult is when you pop it, if you miss a sound cue and we're not watching the player, you're not going to notice it. Because see, like here it's already activated, but it remains yellow. So, like, CNED's wasted that. Now, I get it. When you're on pistols, that's the benefit of it. It's a free rifle, basically, right? 5-bullet rifle that reloads automatically. If you manage to get a kill with that or they push the right site, it can be very good. But unfortunately, sometimes it's just wasted.
I much prefer it, right, when you don't have the money or you might even be able to force buy and then you get your ult to be used.
Yep.
Or it's a clutch play or something like that you want to go for, you know, when you don't have the extra ammo, you want to reload. They snuck all the way in, though. We'll have a little bit of information to play off. Ult's going to be used. Not able to connect too far just yet. Ross found the opening kill though. Artist trying to push back around. David P's up to his old tricks again. And this is brilliant from G2. One by one, BBL are falling. And they could not get it going. They tried to defend, but there was too much going on around them.
There was, James. It's happening everywhere. And for G2 at the moment, locking down A. I mean, look at this. Their post plan, they're just leaving. They're like, yeah, he's not going to come for this. Just Aslan. Don't worry about it.
This is the timing we'll have a chance at a Ninja.
But he's got 2 smokes still. He could get in there and get the defuse on. The problem is it's not for free.
Yeah.
He's got that Phantom in hand. That could be very valuable. I don't think they've got a lot of money for the next round because obviously they ecoed and then, or they semi-forced, and then this was their buy round. So realistically, you should just be saving this Phantom. But it's a shame because if he double dropped smokes, I think he had a pretty good shot of actually just diving down, starting the defuse, and maybe even getting it. One of those things, though. If he went for it, I'd call him an idiot. So it's
finally in the lead, though, for the first time throughout this game. G2 managed to get their 9th on the board. They're going to force BBL onto this low buy. Only the saved Phantom and pistols alongside it.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, they're not going to be buying a whole lot. You could potentially see, like, CNET on a Sheriff. Obviously not a fan of going in for the shorty plays. We've actually got a Marshall on Caro to look for the long-range duel straight down C long. Presumably, so I sort of like this 3-man stack towards the C side because you've got a Cypher. If they spot Cypher, they'll probably presume he's alone. Or possibly, maybe that's the kind of thing they're trying to sell. But in fact, he'd have a Phantom backing him up and a player in Garage.
Right on the edge here with a Frenzy. Close range, it could get a kill like that, but Mixwell too fast on the trigger.
Get out of my way.
Mixwell pushes through very aggressively there, uses the updrift.
Paranoia through. That's going to blind pretty much all of them, but not Patatek because he teleported just in time. I think he still was actually paranoid, but luckily he could see close to him. Oh, that's a whiff and a half! But Caro, luckily, only good for 1. As double digits are hit for G2, they continue to stroll towards their scoreline of 13, where they want to be and where BBL have so far struggled to stop them. Matter of fact, James, I even look back at some of the older games from G2, and whenever they've had the Omen instead of the Brimstone, it's been a 100% win rate the whole time, not just the last 5 in a row. So, looks like Brim was the problem.
Brim was the problem, at least for G2.
You do see it, though, in the entries that they have. The flash from Omen in current state, and I mean, that's why they obviously swapped to him. They tried Omen way back before that update. He was all right. I mean, he had some decent depth to him, but now, with the paranoia the way it is, it's huge. If you enter towards one of these sites, you're guaranteed the players are going to be blind on a certain angle.
Ooh, David P activates the tripwire, does get tagged by it, but luckily stays alive. No one was able to push him. G2 are trying to work their way across. Now real fast artist wants to push in, but CNET, he's on top of it. This is a huge lockdown coming in from BBL. Russ tries to hold on to it, but his teammates back him up around him. 9th round secured, and BBL will not allow G2 to stretch their legs too far. Staying right on their toes, just 1 round behind. Still absolutely everything to play for within this. Be a buy from both sides either way. David P's got his ult ready if needed as well.
Yeah, they've got quite a lot to play with. I mean, both teams have the exact same ults online. You get a little bit of info gathering. I think it's most valuable really for G2 if they can find an opening pick to immediately realize where the defense is.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, that's going to give you the idea to just fast push a site. You know what agent you're facing, so you know what abilities you're going to be coming up against. Although at this point, I think you probably have a pretty good read of where your opponents are playing. Oh, they definitely know where CNET is now. Patatek's TP not quite working out as CNET gets a double. Mixwell eliminated. Eventually goes back just to the smokes around, actually, just to get him out, but that was unfortunate. It faded. The Omen went just as he went to go away, and luckily, Russ up behind trades him out to put in a 4v1. Very difficult situation for Pith, and what should be a 10th round for BBL.
Yeah, even though CNED was unable to escape, that was ultimate lockdown as they tried to push up into his position. And BBL going to go look to even this up. Pith, not much of a chance in this, I'll be honest. He's waiting and hoping they'll make a mistake and ideally trying to hold on to his weapon. Or the timing on this. Aslan has just missed him. But he's not pushing out. He's not getting too greedy and aggressive. He's going to wait it back for now. They're just dancing around each other.
There we go. Spotted eventually. That allows his teammates to come through and look to finish him off. 6 seconds left, and forward Pith went into his death. Not a whole lot he could do.
He ran out of bullets. Unlucky. He was looking for that second kill. Trying to find his way in.
Hey, double digits for BBL. This is definitely doable. Those 2 rounds in a row restore a lot of faith. We're going to see the full buy for G2, but it's not about the weapons anymore. It's not about the ultimates that they've got, because at that they're at a disadvantage. It all comes down to, are they able to win this round? And even then, there will be enough money for BBL to get a buy, because Jet can just use her ultimate. That's the benefit for CNED. He doesn't actually need a weapon in the next round if they lose. So this is quite a difficult 12-10 for G2 if they are to make it there.
The spot's going to be found for now. Lego trying to get the shot darks off, but it's not going to work just yet. Aslam's put himself in a good spot, at least to find this push coming through, but Padatek, he lands the headshot. Great timing coming in there. The ult goes through. Kiro's trying to avoid it. He's able to get one, but then he's straight away done. Pith going to go find their positions. He's going to understand exactly how close they might be. G2 know they want to get this down. They've only lost their Omen so far. Spike's going to be planted. And we saw the ult orb was straight away picked up there after Artis has used his ult himself. So he's going to try and regain that as much as possible, as he's picking up plenty of kills throughout the game.
Well, with the time ticking away, I don't think there's any chance you're really going to be going in for this, James, are you? So
it makes sense. I'm down with this decision making.
Yeah, it has to be the save. BBL 11-10 down. We mentioned they've got the ability to buy up in the next, and I think had this been even a 2v4, they probably would have went for it just because of how the economy's sitting. If they've got someone actively looking at that, which I'd imagine one of the 3 boys left is doing. And so for BBL, it's a shame that they couldn't find anything on the entry, but that's realistically what happens, right? If you allow a team to walk in, triple dominate those aim duels, get a spike plant, you don't deserve a chance back into that most of the time, like you've already messed it up. And so this is really it at this point, because they're investing so much. I'm curious to see if CNED continues using the operator in this round, or if it's going to be the ultimate, and indeed, obviously, continuing to use it. They're going to invest fully into it. He can still use the ult as well as a backup, but I'd imagine, again, best to save it for the next round when one of your players isn't going to be able to buy, so at least then you can be selfless. Be a good teammate.
Already the spam at the doors non-stop here from G2. Want to see if they can tag anyone up or at least keep them at bay. G2 just hoping that maybe someone from BBL might overextend here. Being super cautious. Pith just ensuring no one snuck through that window. Pretty split up right now from the side of G2 though. Bit closer towards B and C for now. Pith already scouted out towards A. But they've not really defined what a weak spot is in BBL just yet. They've not been able to capitalize on just hitting one spot and finding out the secret to success yet.
Well, that's why you see so much versatility, right? They're just swapping it up again and again. Moving in for just a straight-up A hit, and this is the right call. You've only got one agent here. Oh, sorry, you've got the 2. Excuse me. The Omen, obviously, up close. threw me off guard for a second. Lego missing the shots. Dash in by Jet, but they don't know about Aslan, who's good to get a second on the spray, but took a little too long to take down Mixwell. And so the trade was there from David P. The old pop by CNED, but before he can even throw a knife, he's taken down. The trade's back by Rust, though. This keeps them alive. It keeps them in a position where they can get it done. Surely not going to expect David P. to already be up on top of the wall, or to be there in general. Luckily, he falls back after being spotted. And this is just delaying, just running that clock down from G2. They've got the time to play with. The res is possible. Russ is going to go for it, baiting them out into the open, looking for the fight. They don't bite on it.
Smart, real smart, and straight away CNED goes back down. It's all on Patatek. He's right on the edge of it. Oh, he gets it done! Huge! Second kill comes in. He saves the day for his team. That is a round that should have never been Patatek. Absolute boss mode decision. BBL had it in their grasp, used the revive, and it just didn't pay off.
This is disgusting. So first of all, Jet's ult again just cancelled out before anything can get done, but the timing for Patatek going forward, they try to wall him off, just a little too shallow, and a free kill. Oh my, and it looks like Russ was confused as to where he could be because he was going in to defuse.
I think what Russ thought was that obviously if he'd got the first kill and goes the spikes down, he'll just back away, not stay there.
Yeah.
But he just sat there. He was willing to wait. Come into my playground, he said.
That's ridiculous. Honestly, ridiculous. G2 now in a spot where at 12-10, losing this map is unlikely. We talked about their win percentage when it comes to attacking rounds, 90% when they start here out of 5 games. That wall again, a little bit too late. Already in there, Mixwell's ready to take a fight. It looks like they might be aware of that due to the spams, but it doesn't matter. Patatek and David P opening up these fights, leaving CNED on 1 health. And with time running down, still 50 on the clock. There's no pressure for G2. There's no issues whatsoever. Mixwell, caught off guard, still comes out on top, looking for a flawless final round until Patatek falls, but at least he gets the info.
Oh, Mixwell. Yeah, just putting the knife into him at the end just to say, do you know what? You may have made it close, but you only got 1 more round compared to the last time we faced off against each other. G2, it started to look scary for him, Mitch. I'll be honest. I was thinking, could this be going against him, especially after Ardis' hard work from start to finish in that